Hey guys, it's Friday. Everyone here has either been taken by the flu or gone to answer questions in Atlanta competitively. It's just me, Spencer, and Slipknot here, man.
As it should be.
As it should be. There's nothing going on in the world right now. I don't know. Snake Eyes stopped filming. Cool. Tom Holland might do a Back to the Future reboot, or I'm sorry, he's in talks or he talked about doing one.
Okay.
Neat. I talked about doing one this morning myself with you on the way to work.
Scoops.
I was like, hey Spencer, what if I did a Back to the Future reboot?
Can I run with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You absolutely can.
I have to go.
What's your movie news site called?
Oh, Spennies with Bennies. Get the benefits and the benefits. All your movie news.
I love that so much. This is going to be a weird show. Yeah, I mean, you knew that. It's SJU. But on Twitter, we asked for your fan questions. We got 87 of them.
And we're doing them all.
We're doing them all. Let's go. Let's start with the top one. This is from Benji Bilderman. Benji asks, I still need a name for this giant stuffed sloth.
Good.
And we have a picture of it.
Roll sloth.
Roll sloth, Moulton. Okay. First of all, I respect your board game collection.
Ooh, that's way too many Monopolies.
Monopoly Fallout?
Oh, you bought Nuketown. Oh, you owe me 20 bottle caps.
Why is Mickey Mouse playing Monopoly Fallout? All right, let's focus on the sloth. I'm sorry.
Well, I can't get out of my head that the sloth is directly underneath Carl Sagan. So Carl Sagan seems like a decent sloth name.
Yeah, I really do feel like Carl Sagan the sloth is a solid name.
Yeah.
First question done.
All right, yeah.
Do you like, yeah?
I'm good with Carl Sagan. Maybe Carla Sagan, if it's a lady sloth.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's about time.
Your sloth's name is Carla Sagan. We did it. You're welcome, Benji. All right.
86 to go.
Nick Farrow asked if Dan or Danielle are there to talk about Star Trek Picard. Do they like it? He's very on the fence still. Neither of them are here. Danielle got a real person TV job for the month, and Dan is competitively asking questions in Atlanta. Slipknot, did you see Picard?
No comment.
No comment.
All right, fair enough.
It's just so hard to get anything out of the guy.
By the end of the show, we will.
Yeah. By question 84. Alex Shannon asks, thoughts on The Outsider? You watch this Outsider?
What's The Outsider?
It's a Stephen King cop show on HBO.
No. What was that show Lon was talking about yesterday? There was like... It was like immigration, but if they were all from the future or the past.
Oh, it was like, oh, God, it had the best name.
Yeah, the best, worst name I've ever heard. It was very punny.
Talk. I'll look it up.
Well, it really just made me nostalgic for Clone High. Like, if you're going to bring people back from the past, make them go to high school together and go through all the trials and tribulations of teenagerdom. But it was called, like, I'm gonna butcher this. The Nowmigrants? No, it was like the Later Grints.
The Later Grints.
Come on, Joe, find it.
I can't. Show where people.
Someone in the chat is yelling at us what it is.
I can't look at the chat. Beforeigners.
Beforeigners.
It's called Beforeigners.
The Beforeigners.
And I can't wait to watch the Beforeigners.
I really want to watch the Beforeigners. So the premise is a bunch of people show up from all sorts of different time periods. And then it cuts to 5 years later, and we're like, and it's like, how are they gonna integrate into our society? But I imagine it's just like Genghis Khan, like working at Sbarro's.
Yeah,
exactly.
Lon said one of them's just immediately a cop, and I'm hoping it's Beethoven.
Oh yeah, you said it turns into like a Bright situation, so never mind. Yeah. It's the title.
Well, maybe it'll be a better than Bright situation.
Okay.
I like The Outsider though. It's good actually. You might like it. When you watched the first season of True Detective, were you ever like, I want this to actually be supernatural, and were you a little sad that it wasn't?
I guess by the end, when there was like weird vortexes in the sky and they never really delved into that.
Then you might like The Outsider.
Okay.
It feels a lot like True Detective. It feels like a cool, like dark cop procedural with supernatural stuff going on, and Ben Mendelsohn's in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'm not sold, but I'll nod along like I am.
I know. Like, I'm not good at pitching to you. I haven't been for years. But it's a good show. I like it, Alex Shannon. Thanks for asking. Joey Greco asks,
Wait, Joey Greco? Wasn't that the host of
guys.
Cheaters?
I think so. He's recovering from his stab wounds.
Yeah.
That guy got stabbed.
He got stabbed. So reality television was a lot more real in the 90s and early 2000s. It was a wild, wild west, if you would. Cheaters, for those of you unfamiliar, was a film where they would wait for somebody to be cheating on their partner. Someone would suspect they're cheating on their partner.
Yeah.
They'd wait till they were consummating the act.
Yep.
And then show that person video of it happening live and tell them, all right, you ready to go confront him? And they did. And it was all filmed for your enjoyment. And Joe, I believe his name was Joey Greco. Maybe Richard Greco?
Keep talking.
Look up host of Cheaters. He made the big mistake of doing the confrontation on a boat. And as you know,
you never confront
a cheater on a boat because there's only one way out, and the only way out is through. And that host of that show got stabbed on television.
It is Joey Greco.
Joey Greco, nice.
It is absolutely Joey
Thank you for being a fan, Joey.
Well,
Appreciate
Joe
it.
Greco, former host of Cheaters, asks, can Joe review the Impractical Jokers movie?
Yes.
Yes, I can. Hey guys, was this movie impractically bad? Find out on this review on Fandom Entertainment. And then we go to the review graphic.
Review.
Hi Spencer, thanks for doing this review of Impractical Jokers with me.
Hey, what an honor.
This movie was the coronavirus put to film. Why does anyone watch this? And remember that one time that I found out that most of my family really liked Impractical Jokers, and I felt like very alone.
I love this movie, Joe. I give it 5 bags of popcorn out of 5. I think that my favorite part was...
How many benefits and benefits does it
It's got all the spennies and bennies all at once mixed together. It's my favorite part was when they had to do jokes and japes on each other in order to raise the money to get to the prank conference in Florida.
But then when they finally get to the prank conference, it turns out that in itself is a prank.
Yeah.
And one of the 54-year-old men from Brooklyn looks at the other 54-year-old men from Brooklyn and goes, "Hey!"
Hey! But when they threw bread over their shoulder, come on,
forget about it.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what makes these jokes better is just all this dirty ass water.
the dirty bagel water.
Bagel water. Hey, hey. AJ Samore asked, "Did you guys watch the new episode of Clone Wars?" No.
Nope.
Scott, you won't like the answers.
Last week, if they want to check it out.
We talked about the first one last week. I think there's been another one. Scott Johnson asks, what are your favorite film-based memes? What are the sickest memes in your life right now, Spencer?
Oh, film-based. I don't know what movie it's from, but I love always that Antonio Banderas one. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
ooh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's spicy.
That's a real good one.
I like that one a lot. I mean, my favorite meme to throw out there is, well, no, it's a GIF, not a meme, but I get a lot of joy out of the monorail GIF.
Monorail
The Simpsons, just everybody singing and dancing. Monorail. That Bandit Antonio one is a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good GIF.
Yeah.
What do you like using it for?
I think as it's meant to be used. You know, when you're just having a low key pants creaming session over whatever the person above you posted.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Hey, Slipknot, what was the last low key pants creaming session you had with your boys? Someday. Joseph Horner asked if gender categories went away. This is not the show for this. For any deep question. If gender categories went away, what was the best performance of 2019? Also for fun, make a best impression of a real person award, i.e. Judy Garland, and a best original character award.
That's way too much work.
That is.
Yeah.
Let's do like the first part.
Okay.
I don't know if gender categories went away. What was the best performance of 2019? Probably the two that won. Maybe Judy and Joker can duke it out. I'd watch that movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, would that shake it up? And really, I would just include McConaughey's Beach Bum and Adam Sandler's Adam Sandler-ness in Uncut Gems.
I would make those their own categories.
Yeah, exactly. And a real person.
Beach Bum Award.
Were the Little Women real? Joe, they're not real, but like they were sort of like Joe's sort of Alcott,
the
right?
period of history was
no, but like she's
real.
writing. It got so meta where like it became she was writing the book that she was currently in.
Yeah,
and like
true.
it was such like an author stand-in, right? Like
yeah, and then there's all those moments where then they reveal to you that in fact the Little Women weren't in the scenes at all, and that she was just delusional.
the coffee cup drops. All of Little Women has just been a police interrogation.
It turned out the Little Women had not talked to Zazie Beetz once. It got really weird. Yeah, I'll say that they're real people.
Then Joe from Little Women is my favorite playing a real person award.
I like that. I like that a lot. I don't
It's
think
Louisa May Alcott, Mary Louise. One of those WASP names.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Louisa May Alcott.
Aha.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, she definitely wants to talk to your manager. Yeah. I don't think you should get rid of gender categories. That's what I think.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't really make sense because acting is acting. You know,
Sure.
You're portraying a character. It's like I'm lady acting.
But I think even just based on like, oh God, why are we having a real conversation? Jesus, this is a terrible idea. Pulling out. Will Kavanaugh asked, man, you guys are too serious today. Do you think any major film releases will get delayed this year globally due to studio fears of coronavirus impact on ticket sales?
I don't think we're going to have any more movies for the rest of the year.
It's done.
I think they're going to shut it all down. Like, basically, not to spread too much panic, but like what I've been reading is like, well, we're all going to get the coronavirus. If not now, then later. So we might as well just stop gathering.
Okay. It's just you and me in the studio for the next few months, buddy.
I mean, we're basically under quarantine as it is.
Yeah, it's literally it's us and Warren the security guard and Ryan and Moulton in the office.
Yeah,
and I think Emin, our post supervisor, but he's not allowed to leave.
No,
ever. It's just us and whatever cereal bars happen to be left at the end of the month. And God, I hope we survive. I've also been informed that Will is a Fandom employee. I don't know if that means that I've been like biased towards picking his question or not. I didn't mean to be. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Brandon asked, how do you think we'll look back at this era of the super dominant comic book movie? Like in 30 plus years, how will they fit in the history of cinema? How will this era be covered, discussed in future film classics, etc.? Ultimately, will the comic book movie era be remembered fondly? I honestly don't think any of this era will end until like everyone who's currently 35 to 45 is dead.
Interesting.
Because we're going to just keep our claws wrapped in everything. Like, everything is us nostalgia powered. Like,
could be.
If I cared about it when I was 10, then you are gonna continue to care about it.
Well, I think as it stands, like, it might fall off and fall off hard because actually DC's probably got a better chance right now of surviving and us getting like, half as many comic book movies as we do. But I think much like a TV show that overstays its welcome, when Marvel stumbles, and they will someday, one or two average to below average movies in a row, the House of Cards is gonna come tumbling down because it's not like if you are discovering the Marvel movies 10, 20 years from now, you can't pick one at random. If you start with Civil War and you're like, what? Yeah. Like, it's because we've all been following this for so long since the beginning that it has so much resonance and like it kind of generates its own hype for the next one. It's going to be like, hey, do you want to go back and read Moby Dick? It's like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'll read the new Hardy Boys.
To play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I tried to get my parents into Breaking Bad for years, and they just weren't interested. And then one day, my dad was like, "Have you ever seen Breaking Bad?" And I was like, "Yes, father."
Yes,
and he was like, "Your brother just got us into it." And I was like, "Did he?"
What was his trick?
Well, my point is, they weren't watching in order. They were just like jumping around and like catching whatever Breaking Bads they happened to just like catch, but they still love the show. So I don't know. Maybe people can like jump in on Civil War and be like, cool.
I'm gonna watch the 12 movies before this one to really appreciate it.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm gonna have a weird conversation with my parents about this now because they recently discovered YouTube and they watch the show now.
Oh, hi, folks. Hi, stars.
It's gonna be weird. Nick Farrow asks, with The Invisible Man, we're actually gonna do all 85. I'm not even keeping
I
track of how long
have work to do.
No, you really don't. With The Invisible Man coming out this week and being a critical success so far, what Universal monster do you want to see Blumhouse or any studio tackle next? He'd be down for a Frankenstein movie.
I don't need no Universal
monsters.
No. Let's make some new monsters. There's got to be something scary that hasn't been on screen yet. The Sloth Man will get you. Carla Sagan.
Oh, Carla Sagan, the Sloth Man. Yeah. Oh, very slow
and steady, but relentless.
But absolutely gonna get you. Those claws. Yeah.
Like It Follows, but more deliberate.
A more deliberate sloth-based It Follows. Look, we did it. Directed by Blumhouse. Call us. Hey, what's your favorite movie based on a video game? That's from Arrogant Wizard.
Oh, damn Arrogant Wizards. God, there haven't been many good ones.
No.
Witcher, the series, is based on the books.
No, it's based on a Polish television show.
Mortal Kombat is really fun. I love the Scorpion Johnny Cage fight. It's a great action scene.
Yep. Hey.
Tough.
When are we going to admit that Mario is the best one? It's just a weird...
Not today, Satan.
Cyberpunk fever dream.
Yeah, no. I can't.
Come on, man, let it into your heart.
It's too French.
It's too French. It's way too out there.
Yeah.
It's just too artistic. I get it. Hey, question from Candyman. When are we doing an honest trailer for Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s?
Unplanned, but could be. If people really want to see that.
Yeah.
There were multiple Spider-Man cartoons.
I think the one that he's talking about though is the one that was like Spider Blood, radioactive Spider Blood.
Oh, circling back to movie and TV memes, the Spider-Mans pointing at each other, like that's always useful. There's always a time
whenever you use that meme, I use the Antonio meme.
Okay, there you go.
It's just in direct response. This is fun. Hey, in honor of our guest here, if you had to form your own Suicide Squad with 5 villains from movies or TV shows, who would they be?
Ooh, okay.
This is good.
Yeah.
All right.
Emmanuel Zorg, Fifth Element. Gary Oldman. With the X whatever weapon system.
Gary Oldman from The Professional.
Gary Oldman from True Romance, the pimp. And Gary Oldman's as Sirius Black from Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. And then Bob Hoskins from Dog.
Done.
Nailed it.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. We did it. 10 on Med said, how many times a day do you think about Parasite?
Sorry, Gary Oldman from Tiptoes.
He's the...
He can get in anywhere. It's a low bridge!
I think about that movie all the time. I think about that movie more than I think of Parasite.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Parasite was good, but Tiptoes, man.
Sundance film.
Yeah. Sundance winner?
No.
Brian asks, what are Dan's top 5 John Williams scores? Spencer?
I don't know. Jaws?
Take a guess.
Jaws.
Accurate.
Superman.
Correct.
Probably the indie theme.
How are you doing this?
Star Wars. Any of them.
Yeah. Any of them is actually number 5.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
There.
God, we're good. We're really, really good. I thought there was stuff about buffalo wings in here, Ryan.
It's boneless versus non-boneless.
Boneless versus non-boneless, buddy.
So
let's have this conversation.
This is an interesting question you ask. I love buffalo wings. I'm a wingman myself. I made them this Super Bowl. It was great. The thing is, there's actually more meat on bone-in wings. I read a study about this, or I don't know, somebody tested it out. There's more meat on that bone than there is in the pulled bone boneless wing. So while they are easier to eat, and have and make it look less like you live in like a dinosaur lair at the end of it with just bones littered about you to remind you of your gluttony. I think I got to go bone on.
Okay.
And like it's also gives you something to hold, and you're not going to bite your own fingers, in when you're super hungry.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Someone shows up to the party. Everybody's bringing their stuff for the spread. Mm-hmm. They bring buffalo cauliflower.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, not ideal, but I'll take
I'll eat it. Yeah. Put Frank's on anything. I'll
put
probably
Frank's on
eat
anything.
It. That's a good sauce.
That's a great sauce. What's your favorite hot sauce, Joe?
I'm gonna go Frank's. I'm gonna go with sriracha. I'm a pretty basic kid.
All right.
For hot sauce.
All right. Cool.
But I'll do a Tapatio. Once you start getting into labels that are like
anus blaster,
anus blaster, exploding butt face. Like I'm kind of like, nah. Yeah. All right, I'm good.
Yeah. We should be on Hot Ones.
We absolutely should. I mean, we can carry a conversation, obviously.
Just to set up myself for that question, it's Crystal. Crystal's probably my favorite.
Ooh.
And then I like
that's good on a fried chicken.
I like Cholula.
Yeah,
Cholula's nice.
Yeah. Right on. No, that's fair. Someone says Henry Cavill's going to play Wolverine and Captain Marvel too. No, they're not. You can't get me. What's the best movie about the news? I know the best band about the news. It's Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis and the.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this '90s movie. I think it's called The Paper. It's a Michael Keaton movie.
That's a good movie.
Really good. He's got like 24 hours to either like run this story or not. It's like a day in the life of a New York City tabloid, but he's got a scoop.
Yeah.
But they don't want to run it, and he's got to basically prove it right and get an innocent man out of jail, while also dealing with like his wife is having a baby like that day. Surprise! Spoiler alert! And he's getting offered a job from the New York Times, and it's got a just all-time manic Keaton performance in it. So if you want to watch Michael Keaton run around, and it's like a weird pairing with Spotlight, where he's like very kind of staid and like reserved and like a really kind of stern, grim newsman. But this one, he is like
a little more. You want to get nuts
the whole time. He's right like at that you want to get nuts level of energy.
I've never actually seen that.
I hope I got the title right. The Paper.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. The Paper. Check it out.
What about you, Slipknot? You stoic son. You gotta speak. You're not getting your $50 for being on the show. I don't know if I care about this question.
All right.
No, but it's like a does it actually matter kind of thing. Jalooper asks, do you make PB&Js with jelly on bottom or jelly on top? Doesn't matter.
Does it matter? I guess like you probably taste the bottom more than the top because that's where your tongue's at.
I guess. Maybe.
I don't know. Just flip it over if you're not liking how it's going.
That's true. That's the joy of a sandwich is like you've got some options. I think that's a really charitable answer.
Yeah.
Flip it.
You choose.
Yeah, you choose. Take control of your own destiny and your own feelings. Flip that sandwich. I'm very into it. Thomas with the blog and stuff asks, this is an honest trailers question. Hey, that's good. Two of us are here. Do you guys have a list of movies you'll absolutely never do?
Never?
Or
no.
is it kind of fair game for all of them?
I mean, I can't see us doing like a Serbian film or like Solo or any of the like Cannibal Holocaust. I don't see us tackling those like. But otherwise, yeah. I mean, why not? Anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't have a do not honest trailerized list anywhere.
Yeah, no. And then you might not love the honest trailers that come out for some of these things because like the honest trailer for Godfather 2 would just be like, whoa, this is really good. Uh-oh. Man.
Well, we've done great movies before, and we find jokes that aren't at the movie's expense. I'm
Yes.
sure there are Godfather tangentially related jokes we can make.
Yes. People are often unhappy about that, though.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
Okay.
But it is always funny when someone's like, oh, you pussied out on Godfather 2, huh?
Well, the way we do that, we do the trilogy, and we just talk about the third one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was a look behind the magic and behind the curtain. What's the meaning of life? Andrew wants to know.
42?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Correct. But we don't know the question. Is the thing. Favorite Lord of the Rings movie and why?
The weird Beatles animated Hobbit one.
Well, that didn't happen.
Oh.
Or did
Wait,
it?
wasn't there an animated?
Well, there was.
Yeah.
It's the animated Hobbit, but it's not the Beatles. It's the Rankin Bass one.
Oh, yeah.
With the greatest adventure.
Yes.
That folk guy. Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Two Towers is my real answer.
Yeah, actually, Two Towers is the best. Thank you. I thought it was crazy. It's the best one. It's got the best action sequences.
It's not so much like...
The editing doesn't get super weird like it does in Return of the King.
Yeah, it just doesn't lag like the other two at the beginning of
Yes.
the first one and the end of the third one.
Yeah. With all of my favorite weird memes and stuff from Lord of the Rings are in Return of the King. Like someone pointed out recently that you know when Frodo wakes up at the end of Return of the King and he's like in the bed in Gondor
Yeah.
and everyone's coming in to see him.
Gandalf!
Someone pointed out that he definitely forgets Legolas's name.
Okay.
Because he's like Gandalf, Sam, Pippin, Gimli, and then Legolas comes in and he goes, and it's ruined that movie for me. I love it so much. But he might not have ever known his name.
Has he ever called him Legolas on screen?
I don't think he has. And I don't think Legolas like introduced himself to him.
Yeah.
Aragorn said the name Legolas next to Frodo at the council in Elvish.
Right.
But like, there's a lot going on, and his Elvish might not be that great.
His mind might have been elsewhere. He might have gotten
Yeah.
him confused with Liv Tyler.
Yeah, no. And then he almost called him Liv Tyler at one point, maybe
Liv Tyler.
And then he was just really embarrassed. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you learn someone's name, you forget it.
Yeah.
And then you hit a point where, you fought a Balrog together, you still don't remember the guy's name.
And they're just buddy for the rest of your life together.
Hey,
buddy.
Archer,
Yeah.
elf guy. All right. Yeah. What's an overlooked movie you consider an essential watch for any film lover, Spencer? And then we'll get out of here soon.
Overlooked movie for any film lover. God, you go first, Joe. Let me think about that.
I'm gonna go Bachelorette. I think that's a really overlooked, well-written, well-acted comedy. It's sort of the Yang to Bridesmaids Yang, where Bridesmaids was a really loose, like improvised, like woo.
Okay.
Bachelorette's like really kind of dark and really well scripted. It's James Marsden and Kirsten Dunst and a bunch of other really great actors. So yeah, that's
Sweet.
my pick.
Just random. I'm in the paper era of like mid '90s, like really good, just kind of mid-budget dramas that they don't make anymore. There's a movie called Fearless with Jeff Bridges and Rosie Perez. I think I'm pulling that correctly, and it's like they're both survivors of a airplane crash, and like it completely. Jeff Bridges like loses his sense of like all fear. It's not like he's Daredevil or anything. He just like does all the things he wished he could do, and like it's like a more serious take on like that Jim Carrey on Yes Man. Like, what if a guy that was like really uptight like started opening himself up and being more adventurous in his life, and like, but it's a very mature film because Act 2 of that is all about like how great it is and what's living up to his potential and how he's been stifling himself. But then it is like the risks of that and like going too far with it, and how like maybe the constraints are necessary in our essential personal happiness and growth at the end of the day. It was like a really thoughtful, small picture that they don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. That sounds cool. I'll throw Wonder Boys on the list. You ever seen Wonder Boys? It's Michael Douglas and Frances McDormand and Tobey Maguire and Katie Holmes and Robert Downey Jr. and Rip Torn. I'm just gonna keep adding names.
Sweet, yeah.
to this list. It's about a guy that teaches writing, a writer's workshop at a college, and he's kind of a washed-up author. and he ends up, his marriage is falling apart and all this stuff, and he ends up stuck with this really just bizarre student played by Tobey Maguire, who's super brilliant and is writing this really great book, and it's about their weird relationship, and Michael Douglas kind of getting his crap together and trying to balance out, like, I'm supposed to be like mentoring and guiding this kid with like a good amount of like professional jealousy for the kid, because this kid's at the start of like starting up the rocket, and he's been stalled out for years, and it's really good. It's really fun and cute, and
sounds great.
Robert Downey Jr. pre-Iron Man.
Okay.
Yeah, just getting in there where
it turns out he did movies before Iron Man.
Yeah, it's so weird, right? It's so weird. Yeah.
I'll throw another film out there that's reminding me of, I think it's another 90s movie, but it's set in the 70s. It's called Running on Empty. And it's like a River Phoenix movie where you're like, holy shit, this guy is going to be a massive star. It's like his parents... God, his dad, it's not Eugene Levy, but it's like the serious version of Eugene Levy. I can't remember who plays his father, but like they were like eco-terrorists in the 60s, and they've been on the run, like moving from town to town for like decades. And it's like...
Who is it?
Judd Hirsch. Thank you. The thinking man's Eugene Levy. It's like he's a teenager, and he's kind of taken like he's like surrogate parent to his little brother, and it's like he wants to finally stop running, and his parents like can't do that. So it's like, can they leave him? Can they make a separation? And it's like, wow.
That also sounds cool.
This kid's damn good at acting.
Hey, we did it. Watch those 4 movies, you guys. And next week, I don't know, maybe someone will find us in the studio scrapping over the last cereal bar, or maybe not, and we're just stuck here until the fever takes us. Either way,
no news is good news. Bye-bye.